Hey guys, and welcome to our 8th video tutorial. So today we'll finally start getting into the basics of using SAP. And the first thing that we're going to do is just import all of our drawn dimensions and our whole bridge here into SAP. And that's the basic first step. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is first save your AutoCAD file wherever you saved it go to File, Save As, and then go to Other Formats. Now, you're going to want to select AutoCAD 2013 DXF. You can select any of the .dxf files, but essentially you need to have it in a DXF format in order to be able to import it into SAP. So go ahead, select DXF, save it as this. I already have it saved here, so I'll just kind of overwrite it. Yes, I'll replace it. And now I have it in DXF format. So, by default, of course, AutoCAD saves it in the .dwg format. So please do be sure to save it in the correct format. Now go over to SAP. I've already opened up an instance of SAP, new file pretty much. And to import your layers, go up to File, Import, AutoCAD.dxf file. Now I can select that file that I just created. Go ahead and open it, and here is where you have to specify a couple inputs. So it'll ask for a global up direction, and if you don't know your global up direction, you can just go to your AutoCAD file and then make sure that you have world coordinate system activated. This will go to the default original coordinate system used by the AutoCAD file. So in this instance I have Y. There is no W. There is a Y, however, that points in the up direction. So I can confirm that by looking in my other coordinate systems, and these are also WCS and my other perspectives. So yes, Y is my global up direction. So I'll say Y. And you know, which one of these ends up being global up depends on how you oriented and originally drew it in your AutoCAD file. You could have originally drawn with Z as the global up. I just usually do it as Y. I don't know why. So my units, typically I just specify kips, inches, and Fahrenheit. These are the default units that SAP takes in. So I'll go ahead and click OK. And when we import, we're only ever going to be looking at frames. We're never really going to be looking at the other things. Not at shells or solids, unless we do something crazy. I have no idea what these two other things, special joints and NL links. Yeah, I don't know what those are. So go ahead and go to frames, and you can see already we have pretty much all of our AutoCAD layers already in this drop-down list. So we're just going to import these one layer at a time. So starting with, where's a good place to start? Legs. Yeah, legs is good. So click OK, and as you can see, here are my legs. Oh, well, they're not fully there. And this is actually a common problem that you'll probably encounter once you start importing and using perspectives in SAP. For some reason, SAP likes to default to certain funky perspectives where you can only see certain lines. So go ahead and you can resolve this issue by clicking the perspective toggle, these little sunglasses. So when you click on that, bam! Alright, I can actually see my legs this time, and that's kind of what we'd expect. So once you have your legs imported, before we move on to importing more layers, we're going to do one extra trick, and that is assigning groups in SAP. So groups are kind of similar to layers, except they're just a convenient way that you can group certain elements together in SAP and then be able to manipulate them just to make your life a little easier. So go up to, let's see, I believe it is select groups, and already you can see I can select my elements by group. So I can select all the elements, or I can select this newly created input DXF in group, which includes already pretty much all of the lines that I drew in my legs. So I can click OK, and that automatically selects them. So you can deselect with escape, and just to further illustrate that, because I guess it didn't really quite do it, I'll select this and click OK, and oh yeah, there it is. Now I don't necessarily want it to be named DXF in, because the next one will be DXF in -1, and the next one will be DXF in -2, and that gets really confusing. So in order to resolve that confusion, what we're going to do is go to define groups, and here I'm going to say DXFM, and I'm going to modify this group. So I'm going to rename it something more descriptive, and I'm just going to keep the same naming convention that I did for my AutoCAD file and call it legs. So now when you select groups, and the alternative to this is Control G. So I'm no longer going to be going to the menu, I'm just going to be pressing Control G. So Control G brings up the menu, and I can select legs, okay, and I have my legs. So perfect. Now we can do the same thing. Go to your import, go to AutoCAD, select your file, select Y as your global up, keep the units the same, go to frames, and select the next layer. So the next one, I don't know, we'll make it webbing. Why not? So now I have my webbing imported, and again I have that same issue, so remember you have to toggle your perspective in order to be able to see everything. And you can go to define groups, or there's another handy shortcut. It's Control Shift G. Now remember to hold down Control and Shift and then press G. So Control Shift G, and now I have my assign/define group names. So I can click on the newly imported layer name, modify it, and rename it to webbing. There, pretty simple. So there's a couple extra options here. You can also replace pretty much the selected items that you have into the new group. So that also means that let's say you wanted to replace a particular group name with a different selection. So you could select your names, do Control Shift G, bring up this menu, and then select which one you want to be replacing, click OK with replace, and so on. Same thing with add group. You can add members to the group, or you can actually select members that you want to delete from a particular group. So very handy if you're trying to organize your groups in a slightly different fashion, or if you're modifying your file as you go. So hopefully that's a little useful. So now just to confirm, when I select webbing, I get my webbings, and I still get legs when I get my legs. And likewise I can get all with the all. And that also selected nose. So I can continue like this until I get my final result, but that gets really boring and really tedious, so I won't go through the details. But I will upload the final completely uploaded or imported file into the Dropbox, so you can take a look at that and maybe compare it. And hopefully also I would encourage you to go through this exercise, get used to using Control G, the select groups, and the Control Shift G. Ooh, oh dear. Mind you, you have to have something selected to be able to press Control Shift G. That's an important note. Get ahead and start practicing with those, and hopefully you'll be a master in no time. Alright, well, hopefully that was useful, and I will see you guys next time.